We got the first coat of seal on these. And the door's got its final coat of stain seal combo. We'll sand it and then come back with a final coat of poly on both sides. Well, I'm gonna hang the last two cabinets. We're gonna move this one cabinet we already hung down to like regular kitchen cabinet height. So we're putting up 3 cabinets here, and I'll have to put a filler strip in here, and that'll help keep it away from the other doors. So this door that's like this that goes on the side will open a lot better. So everything's gonna get pushed to that side, and the filler strip is gonna be in here to keep this away from there. So it's gonna be them 3 cabinets, and then I'll build a shelf in between the cabinets because we got these taller cabinets and the shorter one are gonna be together, and then I'll have to put a shelf on the bottom. But that's what I'm working on right now. Well, the cabinets are hung. I built this shelf that's gonna go in between the bottom here. She's gonna put her laundry soap up there, like that. So I just got a piece of oak on the front that's 1.25 inches wide. And then this is just a veneer. And I'm just going to screw it in from the sides. And that ought to be plenty strong enough. And there's the shelf in. It's drilled and screwed from underside underneath here. Just got a few screws in there. Be more than adequate to hold up what we got to hold up here. Be plenty strong enough. Here's the next thing we're going to move on to in the laundry room is putting our door in. So we've got a barn type door that we're going to put in here. So there's going to be a track up above, kind of a trolley system. And the door is going to slide back in behind there and out of the way. Before the door swung into the room, and then it was in the way when you were in here working. So that's what we're going to do next. Working on taking trim off. I got to replace these door jambs because we don't need all this stuff in here, and then where the hinge pocket and stuff was, it'll just look a lot better if I re-jam all that. So that's what I'm doing, is taking trim off, and then I've already ripped the jambs on the table saw, so I just gonna cut them all to the proper size and stain and seal them, and then put them in. Okay, this is our door jambs for laundry room. I am totally disgusted with Menards lumber. Save big money my butt. Them are some crooked, warped. They weren't that bad when I got them, and I had them stacked really nice. I looked through them when I got them because that's what you got to do at Menards, because they got such crap lumber. It's just a little irritating when you're trying to make something look nice and you got to deal with warps and bows. I bought wider than I needed to for my trim and my door jambs so I could rip them down and straighten them out. Some of the trim, when I ripped them in half, because you couldn't find a 4-inch board that was worth a crap. So I got wider boards and ripped them down. And you could watch while you're ripping them. They just bow right out. It's just disgusting. I'm glad I bought a little extra lumber so I could end up with this. But it's still, these jambs are going to be a pain in the butt to make look decent. They've just got tremendous hooks in them. They're bad. But they're the best that I brought. I don't have much spares. But anyway, I got 2 coats of the color and seal together. Now I'm going to go back and do just polyurethane. I got the doors done. I should do maybe one more coat of polyurethane on the door. And I took my track out and looked at that. It's going to be pretty straightforward, simple to do. I've never put one of these barn door type doors up, but it's going to work good in our laundry room, save a lot of space. So that's what we're doing there. I'll come back with you when we're installing the door. I'm going to be working on locating my rollers, drilling the holes, get that all done out here, drilling and stuff before I move it into the house. So that's what we're going to work on next. For this track, this particular brand track, I gotta be 5 1/8 from the top of the door down to the bottom of the hole on our bracket here, and then of course just centered. So that's the bottom of the hole. And what I'm going to do is drill my first hole and put my bracket on with my bolt in it to hold everything straight. I'm going to use a square to keep the bracket square so it's perfectly straight up and down to start my next hole. Make sure you're keeping your drill straight up and down, plumb. I always have a tendency to wander one way or the other. So you really got to try to keep your hole straight as possible. And when you're coming through the other side, just go slow. Don't just punch right through, because you're liable to mar up your wood on the other side. It might actually peel off some of the underneath wood. So just take your time, clean out your sawdust out of your hole. If you do chip off some, this is wide enough that it should cover most of that. Like I said, we're going to get this one in. Same thing when you're running your bolt in, you got to be careful. I'm actually going to just thread it down in, I think. Because that could chip the other side too if you're ramming with that, if your hole's a little tight. So this bolt in the bottom will help keep everything lined up for your next. And then if you use a speed square like this, that'll keep you nice and straight. move on to the other side. Five underneath the bottom of the hole. Square again. Now we get this done, we're gonna move on into the house, and I gotta redo the door jambs. That's probably gonna, redoing the door jambs and hanging the trim that this will actually hang off from is what's gonna take the time and installation. I'm sure all your guys' plans have changed this spring compared to what you wanted to do. We were gonna, as soon as the road bands were off, we were gonna start breaking ground for an addition to the house. Would have been a 2-car garage underneath, and then a bed, basically like a master bedroom and a kind of a living room on the upper floor of that. But things change, and I don't want to take that big of a financial thing going on with not knowing what's going on. So we've reevaluated some things. We're still going to do quite a few projects, remodel more of the downstairs to make more room, finish our basement more than it already is. So things like that. I'm sure everybody else is reevaluating their priorities and changing what they want to do. Just wanting to let you know you're not alone, because it is uncertain. It's a lot of uncertainty what's going on. And it sure has changed plans around here. So don't feel like you're the only one. So those of you that have done this before already were seeing my mistake. I gotta flip these around. Got looking at it, I was like, how is that gonna work with the trim and everything? So what I gotta do is flip flop these around. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'll have to back these out the same way they went in. Well, you guys don't need to watch me flip these around. Well, there, I think I finally got my head out of my butt and figured out how to do this now. Way too much on my mind this morning. So there, until I figure out what I did wrong next. That part's done.